Hi my dear students, welcome to my biology class. In the previous class, we could learn about reproduction and its significance. What is meant by reproduction? The process of producing young ones by their parents. What is the significance of it? Reproduction enables the continuity of the species. At the same time, it stabilizes the population. It adds new individuals in the population, thus it stabilizes the population. Organisms exhibit two types of reproduction. Those are asexual method of reproduction and sexual method of reproduction. First of all, let's understand the differences between them. Then we will learn about different modes of asexual reproduction in organism. So today's topic is asexual reproduction. Then what are the differences between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction requires only a single parent, while the sexual reproduction requires two parents, either male or female. So the first difference between the asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction is what? In the case of here, asexual reproduction, only single parent. Single parent is involved. Here, two parents, that means either male or female parent is involved. In the asexual reproduction, organisms do not produce the gametes. So, no production of gametes. While in the case of sexual reproduction, there is formation of gametes. Formation of gametes means formation of male and female gametes. Okay, the third difference, as there is no production of gametes, no fusion of gametes and formation of zygote here. No fusion of gametes means fertilization. No fusion of gametes and zygote formation. But in the case of sexual reproduction, the female produces the female gamete, the male produces the male gamete. Both will fuse to form a zygote. That is called fertilization. There is fusion of gametes and formation of zygote. Okay, the fourth difference. In the case of asexual reproduction, the young one will be similar to their parents. That means by this method, organisms produce identical copies of young ones. Identical copies of young ones. That means no variation. No variation in the characteristic features of the young ones. It means they get almost all the characteristics of their parents, so that they are the exact copies of their parents. But in the case of sexual reproduction, the organisms that are produced sexually are different from their parents, so that there is variation. There is variation in the case of sexual reproduction. These are some major differences between asexual and sexual method of reproduction. Now let's come back to the topic asexual reproduction, its various methods. What is meant by asexual reproduction? It is a process of producing young ones or individuals without the involvement of the reproductive cells. That means the male gamete and the female gametes. There is no formation and fusion of the gametes in this case. Lower group of organisms and the organisms with the simple body designs exhibit a sexual mode of reproduction. Now let's familiarize with the various modes of asexual reproduction exhibited by the organism. First of all, fission. It is a type of asexual reproduction in which the parental body divides into two or more parts. Each part gives rise to a new individual. Fission is of two types. Those are binary fission and multiple fission. Binary fission and multiple fission. Binary fission means the parental organism divides into two and it produces two individual organisms. For example, amoeba. Okay, we know that amoeba is a shapeless organism. It has cell membrane, cytoplasm and a nucleus. When a parent amoeba about to divide, that means it produces young ones, what happens at first? The nucleus become elongated structure. Okay, this is the elongated nucleus. Then what happens in the next phase? The division of the nucleus into two nuclei by mitosis. This is one nucleus, the second nucleus. Okay, two nuclei are formed by the division of nucleus. This is called karyokinesis. Karyokinesis, the division of nucleus. Okay. Here the parent amoeba divides to form two daughter amoebae. Here what happens? Cytoplasmic division. Here cytoplasm divides. This is called cytokinesis. The cytokinesis divides the entire cytoplasm into two equal halves with the one nucleus in each daughter cell, so that the amoeba produces two daughter cells, two young amoebae with the same number of genetic material, that means same number of chromosomes. This kind of fission is called binary fission. It is seen not only in amoeba but also in other organisms like paramecium, then bacteria, algal form like Chlamydomonas, platyhelminths like planaria also. A specific type of binary fission, that is longitudinal binary fission, is exhibited by an organism named Leishmania, which causes the disease Kala-Azar. Okay, Leishmania. Leishmania is a pathogen that causes the disease Kala-Azar, and its binary fission takes place in a specific way, that is longitudinal binary fission. Longitudinal binary fission, that means binary fission takes place in a specific way in a longitudinal pattern. Then this is the organism. It has a whip-like organ. At the time of longitudinal section of binary fission, what happens here? Then its body grows like this and start to split like this. At the same time, the flagellum, the whip-like flagellum will be developed over here, and gradually it forms as two independent organism with all the feature of the parent. Okay, this is the way longitudinal binary fission takes place in Leishmania. Okay, the next one is multiple fission. Multi means many. Here, the parental cell divides into many and releases many copies of cells at a time, many daughter cells at a time. This type of multiple fission is exhibited by a malarial parasite, Plasmodium. Example, Plasmodium. It is a protozoan. It causes which disease? Malarial disease. Here, suppose the cell is present inside the cyst and the cell divides into many, that forms as many copies with a similar kind of cell, that means similar number of chromosome or genetic material, and when it is completed, it releases the daughter cells outside. At a time it produces many and many, so the chance of survival of the daughter cell is high in this case. So multiple fission produces large number of progenies in the case of these lower group of organisms like a protozoan, like a plasmodium. The next type of asexual method of reproduction is fragmentation. In this method, the parental body divides into many fragments. Each fragment gives rise to a new individual complete organism. For example, the algal form Spirogyra. Spirogyra. It has a ribbon-like body. Okay, when its body divides into different fragments, each fragment give rise to what? A complete organism. Okay, it give rise to a complete organism with all features of the parental cell. It is usually occurred in the organisms with a simple body design, that is Spirogyra. It's a multicellular organism, multicellular plant with a simple body design, and it is also exhibited by the higher group of organisms. A few species like planaria and starfish, they also exhibit what? Fragmentation. The next method is regeneration. It's a specific type of asexual reproduction in which new organisms are formed from even the fragment of or the broken part of the parental body. If a small tissue is broken from the parental body, it would give rise to a complete organism with all potentiality. That means the cell is totipotent in nature. That means the cell would develop all the features of the individual organism. It is seen in the higher animals like flatworms, for example, planaria. Planaria have a tissue and organ level of body organization. That means they have some kind of organs in their body. So how the fragment of the body would give rise to a complete organism? Suppose this is the planaria's body, and if it cut into different parts like this, it would give rise to what? A complete organism. That means each part is able to develop into a complete organism. So here also a new planaria will be formed with all features of the parental cell with the organs and tissues in them. So this particular feature is visible in the higher animals too. Okay. Then regeneration can be occurred in almost all living organism, but the degree of the capacity of the regeneration is varied in different animals. In the case of human body, when a wound occurs in our body, it is the tissues regenerated. That's the kind of regeneration. New tissues are formed over there and the wound is healed. That's the kind of regeneration. So this kind of regeneration can be seen in especially in lower group of organisms with a simple body organization. The more regeneration capacity can be exhibited by the organism with a simple body designs than the complex organisms. Other examples are starfish and hydra. They also can regenerate themselves. The next type of asexual reproduction is budding. For example, hydra. Hydra has a cylindrical body with the tentacles on the upper part of it. Okay, when the hydra is matured, a small outgrowth called bud forms on the body surface of the parent hydra. This is the parent hydra. Gradually what happens? This develops as a complete organism like this. Whenever it matures, it is detached from the body of the parental hydra. So the parental hydra, okay, then the new individual with all the features of the parent. Okay, this is the way the budding takes place in the hydra. This type of budding is called external budding. External budding can be also occurred in the yeast cell. Yeast is a fungus. Suppose this is the yeast cell with the nucleus. So during the budding process, the nucleus will be elongated and it forms as a bud over it. Then again it forms as the next one like a chain buds. This is chain buds that is observed in the yeast. That's why yeast is used for fermentation of the sugar, and also it is used to make the dough very soft and making bread. And the yeast multiplies within particular period of time, thousands and thousands, by chain budding process. The next type of asexual reproduction is spore formation. Spore formation. Here the spores would develop into new individuals. This kind of asexual reproduction is seen in the non-flowering plants like bread mold or rhizopus. Bread mold or rhizopus. You are very familiar with the bread mold. If we keep a loaf of bread in the moisture condition, what can we observe over there? The tiny bread mold will be appeared over there. So that is the production of what? Rhizopus. The hyphae of the rhizopus are developed over there and spread everywhere, and it spoils the bread. And this rhizopus is reproduced by a specific mode of reproduction called the spore formation. Look at the figure here. This is the diagrammatic representation of the rhizopus. It has rhizoids, then hyphae. The next part is sporangium. The sporangium consists of mother cell. The mother cell is diploid in nature. It undergoes meiosis and produces haploid spores. And the spores are present inside the sporangium. Sporangium acts as a protective cover. When there is an appropriate condition, when the conditions are favorable, what happens? The sporangium breaks and it releases large number of spores outside. Then each spore gives rise to a new rhizopus. New individual rhizopus. Got it? This is the way the bread mold spoils the bread very fast. This can be seen in bacteria also. This spore formation can be exhibited by bacteria. So dear students, today we have learned about various methods of asexual reproduction that is exhibited by lower group of organism. I hope you understood the topic well. With this, I conclude my session. Then thank you and have nice moments.